My greetings to all who celebrate the 76th Independence Day of our nation with love and respect. I am Deepak Arun and I'm here to say a few words on how India gained independence and some things related to it. Respected dignitaries listening to me and my dear friends. The aim of Vasco da Gama, who came here in 1498, was trade. He was able to establish trade relations with the subcontinent that was at the highest rank of spice production. Now, the Dutch in 1605, the English in 1608, the French in 1674 all came here with a sense of competition between them on who will get to establish trade relations with us. Now, the aim of Sweden and Norway, whom arrived here in the 1700s, were also the same. In the year 1602, the Dutch East India Company established its colonies here to aid in their war efforts against Spain. But they did also intend to take total control over the spice trade. Now, both of their dreams will come to a violent end at the Battle of Kulachal by the hands of the King of Travancore, Marthandavarma. Now, the fall of the Dutch at the Battle of Kulachal led to the rise of the British. Now, the British, after they won the Battle of Buxar in 1765, a treaty was signed between them and the Nizam of Bengal, which gave them, as in the British, the ability to collect tax from the natives of Bengal and Bihar. This eventually gave them the chance they needed to take utter control over India. Now, we can see the start of the Indian struggle for independence in the 1700s, but it did only strengthen after the Sipahi Lahla of 1857. By the end of the 18th century, under the leadership of Gandhiji and the International Congress, giving importance to Ahimsa, did many leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and many more strengthen the independence effort. Meanwhile, Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, and many others chose to be revolutionaries. By that, I mean that they took to arms. They said, "You don't give any blood, you're not getting any freedom. There's a price for freedom, and that must be paid." This was what they were saying. So, both of their goals were the same. They were fighting for the same thing, freedom. And freedom they brought. Some incidents during the Second World War also made the anti-colonial protest in India really, really strong. Now, these incidences, there are so many incidents, including the Bengal famine. Let's just say a lot of people died there because of hunger and thirst. Now, I won't get so deep into that because it will take us a lot of time. So I don't want to prolong my speech or anything. So let's just skip it. So later on, the Indian subcontinent, gained independence from the British, and two new nations took shape, India and Pakistan. On January the 26th, 1950, India declared itself a republic under the newly formed constitution, which was formed under the leadership of B.R. Ambedkar. But India continued to be a domain of the British Empire up until that very point, and the last Governor General of India was C. Rajagopalachari. Now, the worst ever thing to have ever happened to India since it gained independence was the division of it and Pakistan. Now, because of this new development, thousands and thousands of people had to leave their homes and go across the Radcliffe Line, where many died fighting each other. Now, all of this was planned by the British. They did not want us to have peace and harmony. So they kind of put a driver in us to fight each other. Now, we fell right into their trap. We have still not escaped. We're still fighting each other. That means we're still in their trap. We may not recover until, I don't know, something big happens. Now, on the 15th of August 1947, India became independent under the British Commonwealth. When the Direct Rule of Britain, that started in 1858, ended in 1947, independent India became divided into two separate nations, as I mentioned before. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India, but the one who was most involved in getting us independence did not take up any role. We all know who that great man is. That is Gandhiji himself. Now, I don't know why he may not have taken up any role, but if it was me, I would have said something like, what has to be done has been done. So I'll just stand back and watch the nation grow. That would have been what I would have said. So I don't know what he said, just a guess. Something by those lines. Now, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel became the first Deputy Prime Minister of India. And he was known as the Iron Man for many reasons. Now, he was the most crucial in getting India together because he's the one who brought together all the small nations in India. I mean, back then, you know that there are thousands of small nations in India. That's what India was. So he brought them all together to form the union we know and love today. And he was the first deputy prime minister. So, respect to him. Then Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the first president of India. And Dr. Radhakrishnan was India's first vice president. And since then, we have gone to war with China in 1962, and in 1965, 71, and in 1999, we have went to war with Pakistan. And we're still kind of enemies, as we already know, all because of the British. Don't have to remind you. Now, in the Cold War, India adopted a non-alignment pact such that it will not get destroyed by either of the sides. So, we are neutral. We are basically stayed neutral, along with Egypt and some other nations, whom I forgot. Let's not veer too much off topic here. Now, in the financial, economic, and defense foreign sectors, we have advanced very much. We have tested our first nuclear weapons in 1974, 1998. We have tested our nuclear weapons. We made ourselves a kind of a formidable power, let's say. We have not yet become a world power. In the financial, economic, and many other sectors, we have advanced so much. We have advanced in the educational sector as well. But have we been able to change the 200-year-old system that we still use? No. Have we been able to make substantiable changes there? I don't think so. We have changed the who gets the education, who gets educated, but have we been able to say how they get educated? Now, the change will come in the form of NEP 2020, but it'll take some time. Let's wait. And getting to my next thing that I want to talk about, that's the racial terror and separatist threat that rose up after we gained independence. Eventually ended up with the killing of great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, and Rajiv Gandhi. So the truth is that no matter how advanced we get as a society, no matter how advanced we get in science and technology sectors, the ancient thought just doesn't go away. The way of thinking still stays. A part of our nation, a part of the people that make up our nation still battle each other over race, religion, and caste. It's so sad that we gotta educate the people. We are effectively killing ourselves, killing our own nation through such activities. Bharat was a nation that prayed for the success and greatness of all nations on this pale blue little dot. Every activity that we did, everything that we did started with the slogan Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. When the British ruled over us, we said they destroyed our indigenous culture and they divided our society. But now, look at that society. Look at it. Who is destroying it now? It's us ourselves, through the religious, caste based, and other disputes. Meaningless disputes, I'd say. If our people was able to actually just think scientifically, I think most of these problems would just simply go away, or at least go away in a significant rate. But no matter how hard we try to educate our people, they still say the same. We should not do this. Once you listen to this speech, please do not destroy our nation. We must pledge that we will strive for the welfare and good of the people. We are all one. And it's us who make up the nation. India is not a place, it's a people. And we must pledge that we will strive for the welfare and greatness of this nation. We must take about us this responsibility, this pledge, on the 76th Independence Day. And we must pledge also that we're not going to destroy this nation in any manner, nor shall we ever allow anyone to do so. This is our nation. We make up this nation. We can make it better. Now, under the leadership of the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the new President Draupadi Murmu, India is rocketing towards great heights. And thus the future looks really bright for us. So let's make that future a place that we want to visit. Thank you and Jai Hind.